Welcome everybody to the Outdoor Sports Club. This is Ghillie Sniper 300, and there's a lot of EDC videos out there, just people going over what they carry. I've never really intended to do one of those, but then, I decided I would. Let's jump into it. This is pretty much my everyday carry system, and it's not perfect, and some of these you might laugh, but bear with me because I have uses for stuff, and I do carry some of this stuff. I don't necessarily carry every day, but we'll talk about that. So first thing, this one's going to be the biggest surprise, is a USB jump drive. I actually do carry these quite a bit. I have had to take some work home in electronic format before, and I didn't have one of these, and I had to borrow one. That doesn't happen that often, but it does happen, so I carry one every day, so I can carry some stuff home from work with me if I need to work on it at home, and I can. Probably more useful is the fact that me and Doc swap jump drives quite a bit. He makes a lot of videos and then brings them to me on a jump drive. I live about 70 miles away from him, but work fairly close, so it comes in handy. Next thing is kind of an obvious thing. For most people this would be more of a priority, but for me it's not. That is my cell phone. This used to be a cool phone. These days it's not. Cell phones have never been a priority for me. That's why I have voicemails, so people can leave me a message. If I think it's pretty important, I will answer, and I do try to call back. But it's not a high priority for me. I don't even always have it charged up. And when I come home, I pretty much leave it, somewhere and ignore it. I have tried to get into the habit of taking this into the bedroom with me at night because I got to thinking about home defense, and if you need to call somebody and you're stuck in your bedroom, then it stinks unless you have a phone in your bedroom. So anyway, this is something that probably isn't mentioned by most people because it's a given, but if you get stuck on the road somewhere, you need to call somebody, a phone's pretty handy to have. And obviously if you get into an altercation where you have to use your more your typical everyday carry type stuff, you're gonna need a phone. So anyway, probably doesn't need to be mentioned, but I did. A lighter. I've got to have a way to light a fire. That sounds kind of dumb. I don't smoke, but I know that one's getting a little low. And this one's really cheap. These used to be made better, but it's on the big flame, and it's not putting out a big flame. So unless somebody messed with it, which I don't think they could have, I need to get a new one. But this might sound kind of goofy for a non-smoker, and I know a lot of people aren't going to think it's goofy because I've heard of people carrying around, Swedish fire steel and stuff like that with them every day. But I want to have a way to light a fire. I have a friend who got stuck on the side of the road in a heavy snow. It was actually on the interstate, and nobody was out on the interstate. His car just stopped. It wouldn't run. So, how are you going to get heat if your car won't run? And it was, really cold. So he cleaned off a place in the snow and got some fuel, and by that I mean sticks and stuff, not gasoline, and lit it on fire. And a hypo came and told him that was illegal, but kind of understood the situation and got him to safety, or helped him get someone out there or something. Anyway, the point is, I use this sometimes to, light things that just need to be lit, and it just so happens that I have this on me. I've never had to use it for an emergency, but you never know, It's light, and it's doesn't really get in the way, so why not? The next deal is, everybody carries one of these, it seems, and you probably should, but mine's a little bit different. I have gotten made fun of for this, but it is just a utility knife, a folding locking blade utility knife. This is the handiest thing I've got on me at any given time. I use this more than I use my car. I use it more than I use my cell phone. I use it more than pretty much anything I carry. And I use it around the house, and I use it at work. Comes in very handy. I know I would like to carry a real knife, but I really don't plan on cutting anybody up with it. I guess you could do some damage to somebody if you had to with this, as was apparently done in the 9/11 attacks, but I don't have to worry about breaking it. I'm not careful with it at all. You know, I mean, I respect it, but if I had a real knife, quote unquote, I probably wouldn't use it at work to the extent that I use this, and I need a knife at work on occasion. And so I like having this just because I don't have to worry about the blade. I don't have to worry about dropping it. I don't, you know, it's not like something I really care about. And when I dull the blades, I just turn it around or go get a new one. I've got some at work and I've got some here, so pretty cool. Everybody should probably have a knife on them. This one's not, you know, a tactical knife, tactical and all that good stuff. It's a work knife. It's a utility knife, and I love it. I use it a ton. Now for the meat and potatoes of the everyday carry system. For me, it's the PF9, at least for now. Kel Tec PF9. This happens to be a DeSantis Tuck This II holster. I'm okay with this holster. I wish I had the suede leather holster that's basically the same, J-hook and all that good stuff, because I think it would be a little more comfortable and a little bit thinner. This prints, believe it or not, for being an extremely flat 9mm and light 9mm and a pretty small holster, this dude prints on me somewhat. The way I'm carrying it now isn't too bad, but I sacrifice comfort to carry it that way. So this isn't the greatest holster in the world. I'm going to be doing some looking. You can adjust that. Right now I've got it on kind of a, I don't know, I guess I'd call it a hybrid cross draw, is what I carry it as. I'm not going to show that right now, but I might at another time. And that's the most comfortable and accessible place that I can carry it. I want to carry it kind of behind my hip just a little bit. That seems to be, that's where I would prefer to carry it, but it's not comfortable there, and my shirt rides up on it as I'm moving around, and before long you've got this, you know, sticking out and your shirt's behind it. So you get this sitting in your pants like if my thumb was the top of my pants, and the shirt is back over here so everybody can see your gun. I don't really like that. So where I have it now, it jabs me in the leg and points to some regions that I really want it to point to whenever I'm sitting down. But when I'm up and about, it's extremely comfortable, it's extremely accessible, and I can draw it with both hands, and I can make sure that, you know, it's not showing without, you know, spinning my head around like an owl or something, trying to look at, or looking in a mirror or feeling back there or anything like that. I can very discreetly, you know, check it, adjust it, you know, whatever I need to do. So I like that. As far as the PF9 goes, I love this except for the problems that I've had with it, and I know I've been talking about that for a while, and I haven't gotten it fixed yet. I am working with Kel Tec right now, but I'm sort of dragging my feet on it, and I shouldn't be. I know that, but I just don't have time to go out and test the latest extractor that they sent me. I don't even have it put in yet, and I don't want to put it in until I can go test it. At least with this, I know what my problems are. They're extraction issues, and I know how to fix them. If I go and I change it out and I don't have a chance to go test it, you know, it could fail to extract on every shot. You never know. So I don't want to do that yet. Once I test that, if it doesn't solve the problem, I have talked to them and I'm going to send it back and they're going to get it right for me. I've basically told them that if it can't function to my expectations, I don't want it. It's an everyday carry gun. It's not a little tinker gun. It's not a plinker gun. It's not something that I'm taking to the range just to, you know, see how well it does and all that kind of stuff. This thing has to function. So other than that, it's a great little gun. I've heard nothing but good things about these. I'm one of the few people who I guess has had problems with them. So, but I'm okay with it. It started off with a really heavy trigger, a really long trigger, and it's hard to shoot. It will humble you as a shooter. I, you know, was starting to feel like I'm getting decent at pistol shooting, and then I got this thing and I couldn't hit anything with it for a while. It's definitely a tough gun to shoot. Holds 7+1. They do have, and I'm going to get one of these as soon as I get the problems worked out with this. I'm getting a new Kel Tec 8+1 magazine. They look really slick. It's extended. The extended shoe on this mag is ridiculous in my mind. Maybe for a small-handed person it would work, but what it winds up doing is jabbing me right in the middle of my pinky. So I took that off. I don't use that, but I'm thinking with an 8+1, if this is just a little bit longer and then it's got an little extended deal on it, I'm hoping that that'll make it really comfortable for me to shoot an 8+1. And then that'll be my backup mag. As it is, it came with one mag. I don't have a backup mag, and I really need a backup mag. What better way to do it than 7+1 here, and then 8, you know, magazine for your backup. Okay, so it's, you know, nothing fancy, and I haven't cleaned it in a long time, so, you know, I know people are, hopefully nobody gets too uppity about that, because a gun should function whether it's been cleaned the last time you shot it or not. I do take care of my guns. I don't necessarily clean them every single time. But, you know, pretty standard 9mm. Doesn't have a safety. Slide, lock, and release. Little takedown thing. Mag release right there. Pretty standard. Jumpy little gun. I talked about this in sort of a, not a full review that I did, but kind of a review. When you go to put this back on, first the hammer has to be back, or I call that a hammer. That may not be the proper terminology in a gun like this, but that has to be back. And then when you get it up here to this point, you actually have to, and I really can't do this one-handed, but you have to press down on the top of the chamber there, or the back of the barrel, as you press this back to get it to rotate down. If you don't do that, it will lock up and you'll have a little bit of trouble taking it off or getting it on properly. If you do get it on, the first time I put this back together, I got it on, got the pin in, and it wouldn't do anything. So you have to make sure that you press down on that as you rotate, as you push this back a little bit. Once you get it to a certain point, you can go ahead and take it all the way back and lock it with the slide lock and put the pin in. I'm going to do that real quick. Like I said, I can't do it one-handed. Once you get it like that, you can just go ahead and lock it back. The barrel kind of floats around in there a little bit. You line everything up, so like that, snap it in, you're good to go. And it should, if the trigger doesn't pull, you did something wrong. Let me just show this trigger pull. I probably did this before too, but and that's a fairly heavy trigger pull. Breaks pretty cleanly. Doesn't reset whenever you let off, but okay, I'm gonna keep my finger pulled back and okay. That's not the you hear that click, but that's not the reset. There's the reset way out there, as you see the hammer coming back. It's not bad. It's loosened up over time, but let's look at that one more time. There's a click and click right there, and there's the take up. But it's loosened up over time, so it's not bad. Someone sent me a message, and I don't have it here in front of me, but there's a trigger mod you can put in it. I haven't even looked into that yet. I said I would, but I haven't. I think that's about all. I'm sorry to do a mini review on this pistol, but it seemed relevant. I didn't mean to go on and on so much about the PF9 there, but that is obviously the coolest part to talk about in your EDC, and so I like talking about it. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Guns, knives, lighters, cell phone, and the funny one to me, the jump drive. But yeah, it does come in handy. I carry those basically every day. I've really worked hard to make it a habit to carry them every day, including the pistol. I don't have to take it everywhere, but I do. It's a choice to me to carry it every day. Personally, I don't understand why people get concealed carry licenses and then don't carry every day. I do know some people who have their own reasons for doing that. They didn't get their concealed carry license necessarily because they're worried about, protecting themselves and their loved ones when they're out and about. They did it more to learn the laws and then to be able to carry a truck gun, you know, under the seat or something like that without having to worry about the law, or being on the wrong side of the law, I should say. Personally, for me, I got it because that's the closest way I can get to legally keeping my Second Amendment right. And you know, I don't mean to get a certain way about that, but you know what? I have the right to keep and bear arms, and I can't bear arms in my state unless I have a concealed carry permit, so I do. And I think that it's important to try to be prepared to protect your own life and the life of the ones you love. And that's why I got my concealed carry permit. So why get it unless I'm going to carry it every single day, as many places as I can legally carry it? And I do. And the rest of that stuff just comes in handy, so I try to make it a habit to carry that every day as well. And here lately I've been doing a pretty good job, I think. So anyway, that's my everyday carry system. Thanks, guys. Take care.